Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me again is Morganne Rayne, who is Adept, visionary, spiritual guide, ceremonialist, and artist. So, hello, Morgan.
Hello, good morning. I'm so glad to be here, and it looks like I have a good connection to be able to communicate this morning. This is good.
It's really good. I'm very very glad you have good connection because Tuesday's show was disaster.
Well,
So
it is
yeah.
what, yeah. So that's one way of interpreting the interpretation of Tuesday's show. Yes, because of poor connectivity, right? But you know what? It's interesting that you were talking about that because that's kind of what I want to talk about today, right? Um, Interpretation and how we interpret our world around us. So anyway, we'll get off on that here in just a little bit.
We have been joined by Alishan. Hi guys, it's
Us,
Alishan. I love you. Hello,
I love
Alishan.
Alishan. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I'm so glad she's
It's
here.
again three of us together.
She can write us notes in YouTube.
Yeah, Alishan, you can keep. Actually, that's what she's doing. She's on YouTube watching us. So
Oh, beautiful, excellent. Um, yeah. So no, everything is going well. I just want to catch everybody up on. Last week, I totally bagged out of the show because I had tested positive for COVID and I wasn't feeling so hot. But I tell you, I moved through that experience fairly gracefully and without a whole lot of symptom. Right? There's the beliefs of, oh, that this could kill you or whatever. I don't have that belief. I believe, oh yeah, well, here we go. Looks like I need to cleanse my body. So so I moved into cleansing time. And it's interesting that I had just come off of Thanksgiving, which of course there's a lot of sweets and uh, richer foods and all of that. And even when I was eating some of that, I was thinking, I don't, my body's going to probably react to this in some way because there was just so much of it. And there's another belief, right? So there it was. I got
mhm.
COVID. so there was that. Yeah, but anyway, so what I want to talk about today is I'm getting ready to start teaching again, beginning of the year, for a group of women that I had been teaching with for many years. Although I've expanded it and opened it up for many more to participate now, rather than the exclusive little group. I'm expanding that because we need more people at this time to expand on this consciousness that we're going to be teaching from. Um, so there had been a request within the group that I teach the Course in Miracles, which I've taught the Course in Miracles before many years ago, and really kind of just put the books on the shelf and left them there because I did the course, I taught the course, okay, course over. Well, no, it's back again. So if I look at the Course in Miracles and what has it got to teach us today, what is it that um, we as a consciousness, as a species, as humanity, what are we needing right now? And I think more than ever we need this course because we have, as far as I can see with humanity, they have lost their connection to source. They've lost that connection to their Christ consciousness within, that light within. They've lost their ability to discern. And so consequently, what happens is that people are seeking and seeking and looking and trying to figure things out and trying to get interpretations from all kinds of places. Looks like you had a question there for a second.
No, I didn't have question, but I said Alishan's input. I need to be in that group, Alishan says.
Absolutely. I will do that. And I'm actually going to make it so that, Daiga, if you want to be a part of the group, you can too. I'm going to do it on a Sunday morning, 9 a.m. My time.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so that I can open it more globally for people, because we need to get this we need to get this class out there to a broader audience. All right. So a good question you might want to ask, well, what is A Course in Miracles? And why would we teach this right now? So remember before I said, oh, well, we're going to talk about interpretation, how we interpret. Well, that's our mind. A Course in Miracles teaches that there are two basic thought systems. One is a thought system of perception, and the other one is of knowledge. So the thought system of perception is inherently illusory because it's based on interpretation, not on fact. It's founded on our belief in our separation from God and from one another. So let me talk about that a little bit. When we begin to, this is what I believe about our mind. Our mind is a meaning making machine. It is always looking to make meaning out of something and everything. Like, oh, it rained today. What does that mean, right? Oh, I stubbed my toe. What does that mean? Oh, I got COVID. What does that mean? So our ego is always trying to make meaning out of what is going on in our world. Now, trying to make meaning is inherently of itself not so bad, because we want to be on a good pathway, right? But we don't do it from the outside signs, we do it from the internal. So remember how I wake up in the morning, I go, oh, I'm still here. Well, great, I'm here. Where am I to serve? How am I to serve? And please show me how. Right? I am not going to go out and look for signs to show me how to do things. I am going to, because I've already put that possibility into motion. Oh, I'm here. How shall I serve? Who shall I serve? And to show me how. Now I have entered into a thread of possibility that is not driven on ego. It's driven on, what is my service? My service is to love. So people are going to ask, well, what are you serving? I serve love. I teach love. I don't just teach love, I teach unconditional love. Well, what is that, right? So we're going to get into all of that throughout these next coming weeks. So when we look at our world through eyes of interpretation, through the ego, we're going to find within that our separation, where we're not connected. It's going to always validate where we're not connected. And then that's when we can begin to see the disconnects. We can see the evil, the sin, the guilt, the fear, all that lower density stuff we talk about, right? When we are in that world of interpretation, that's it's a world of illusion. It's not real. It's founded on a belief in separation from God and separation from one another. Course in Miracles reminds us and brings back the awareness there is no separation. You and I, Daiga, we're one. You, Alishan, in the YouTube world, and Daiga and I are one. We are one life because we come from one source, one power, one existence. It is what and who we are. And when we connect to that, When we hone our ability to begin to perceive through the eyes of that wholeness and that oneness, that's when magic happens. That's when love happens. That's when miracles happen. This is a course in miracles. Course in miracles. Miracles are something that, don't happen very often. Hang on, I got to take a drink. Or miracles happen all the time, right? So I prefer to live in that experience of miracles, and how that shows up for me. And we'll just use things that have happened in my life lately. So I think we talked about a little bit about what happened with my eye. I burned the cornea of my eye. So by outward, according to doctors, according to the hospital, you're going to lose your cornea, right? They just gave me the bad news, right? It's, well, this is really bad. You're going to lose your cornea, and da da da. They go off. So, I'll let them have whatever they want to think. But inside of me, it's like, oh, this must be an opportunity for me to become into deeper awareness of my oneness with God. So rather than going off on, I'm going to lose my cornea, this is a divine opportunity for me to come closer to, more aligned with what the truth is, which is, I am one with God. I am one with God's wholeness. I am who I am, and what I am is a template of wholeness. So that's God's law. That's not man law. That's God. So when I lean into that, then then the miracles can happen, right? But if I'm believing in man and hospitals and doctors, I'm going to lose my cornea. Okay, so I leaned into God. I leaned into miracle. I leaned into, okay, reveal to me the inner vision, right? Reveal to me, because it's all about vision. I go, oh, well, here's vision again. What's my vision? So I go to my regular eye doctor. And of course, he's like starting off, this is really bad. We're going to do our best. I mean, he at least elevates it a little bit. We're going to do our best, right? And so they did a treatment, and he goes, this and prayer. He goes, this and prayer. So my doctor's office had stepped into my vision with me, right? We're going to align with God. We're going to do our best as humans, right? So as humans, we take as good care of ourselves as possible. But when we lean into God, then we're going to allow for the healing to happen, the wholeness to be revealed. So 1 week later, I go back to the eye doctor. He's looking at my eye. He's just making these funny noises. He goes, well, this is remarkable. This is miraculous. He's using these words. And I go, what? He goes, this is 1 week. Okay, 1 week, 7 days from an accident. He goes, your cornea is healing. It's clearing. He said, he goes, your eye is, he would have expected the result of the how much it had healed to happen within a month, not within a week, right? But that's what happens when you step in and you slip into God time and God consciousness and God revealing. So I go, awesome. I'm doing what I know I need to be doing. So I step deeper into my vision. I go further into God's vision for my life. God, what do you have for me in my life to do? Hello, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm here for you. Who do you have for me to serve? Show me how to do it. So this is refining my vision. Not everyone has to do it my way. That's my way. My way is very simple, very, very simple. All right. So, okay. So I slipped into miracles, right? I saw him last week. He goes, I don't want to see you for a few more weeks. He goes, your eye is healing. Well, from you're going to lose your cornea, 3 weeks ago, to I can read with my eye again. There is no injury to my eye. It is whole, because that's what I moved into, was my wholeness. You see what happens when you move into, not into interpretation of what happened. Oh my God, I could have made all kinds of stuff up about what happened with my eye, but I didn't. I just moved into, this is showing me something deeper. I must need to align deeper with God. So it's like, it's like how you just moved into it. It is different. So I moved into what I call the world of knowledge, which is what the Course in Miracles is all about, is teaching us knowledge, which is truth. And when we step into truth, not into interpretation or to what happened, but we step into truth, then truth can be revealed. Then wholeness can be revealed. Then God's love can be revealed. So that's why I'm going to be teaching this course. But I think it's pivotal at this time where we are in a world. If we look out at our world, well, if I look at my world, I see beauty and trees and snow and happy things going on. But that's my world, right? Some people get plugged into media, and that becomes their world, which is a world of uh, uh, anger and hatred and divisiveness and challenges and right versus left and wrong versus right. And that is all that illusory world. That's that world of perception and ego. How we are going to heal our world, and what I truly believe why we are here, especially those of us who are star seeds or Christ consciousness or the living light, however you want to say who you are in this world and why you came. We came here so that we can begin to vision in and see vision, clear vision, and see the truth, see love, see our oneness, see our connectedness, see our timelessness, our sinlessness, our unity, our love. That's why we're here. We're here to create and help humanity remember this. So that's why I'm going to teach the course.
I think it's another input from Alish Ann, but different account she came in. Walking in faith, not fear.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Walking in faith, not fear. So when you walk in faith and not fear, that's what you're connected to, is faith, right? You're connected. And what is faith? Faith is in that, it's that ability to see beyond the perception. It's the ability
yes,
to see.
Alish Ann is saying, yes, it's me. She logged in from
Yes,
different
it's what, say
account.
that again.
Alish Ann logged in from different account and appear in my notes here, appear in different name of account, yeah. And now she said, yes, it's me. So yes, she's still with us.
Yes. Good. So so that's what we're doing. We're working with in the Course in Miracles, it really works with what's your ego, what have you been believing in, and it works with you helping work with your ego to begin to perceive rightly, to see correctly. So ego, I believe we create our own ego, beginning from when we're little people, right? I've often called the ego our defensive gatekeeper. So something happens, ego says, whoa, don't go there, or no, fear, right? And so I call it that defensive gatekeeper because it puts up this like a signal warning, and usually it's fear or anger or all those illusories about victimhood, right? So when we're working with the ego, well, some people say, well, why don't we just kill the ego? Well, no. Why don't we love the ego? Why don't we help what we created, which I believe we created our ego from the time we were little, to it's almost like a protective. So that's why I call it the defensive gatekeeper. But the thing is, it keeps out everything, all the good, all the, and it also keeps us in a high stimulus of fight and flight. And so what we want to do is keep the body tempo in a place of peace and calm, openness and receptivity. And that course will assist us in doing that. So how I'm going to teach the course to begin with is I'm going to teach a 12-week version of it first. Course in Miracles goes for 365 days. So there's a lesson. That's the traditional course. So there's one lesson every day. I'm going to teach the core principles of Course in Miracles first, because I think it will help build a greater synthesis of understanding around the principles of what the Course in Miracles is doing. And besides that, my guidance told me to do it that way, so I don't not follow that. um, so anyway, I wanted to share one thing. I wanted to share the first lesson of A Course in Miracles. This is I'm going to read it out of the this is the workbook for students. Lesson 1. Nothing I see in this room or on this street or from this window or in this place means anything. So listen to that one more time. Nothing I see in this room or on the street or from this window or in this place means nothing. So lesson 1 is beginning to have you look right where you are. So like, what are you looking at right now, Daiga?
I mean, looking at the screen at the moment.
You're looking at the right. So this screen that I see in this room means nothing. So that's lesson 1, is where we start to look at what's around us, and we start to challenge the mind by saying that I'm looking at a crystal that's over there that a shaman gave me a long time ago. I can put a lot of interpretation on that crystal. I can put, oh, he gave it to me because he wanted me to be able to see deeper in, or he gave, I can interpret all kinds of things around that. But the fact is, it's just a crystal, right? It's not an interpretation, but I have brought meaning to that particular crystal over there. But when I look at it and I go, that crystal over there, it means nothing. It means nothing. So when we begin to look at I know that's a pretty kind of an interesting way to start a teaching, right? But it begins to challenge the mind's need to make meaning out of everything. And the thing is, we get ourselves in the greatest trouble when we try to make meaning out of things. The way somebody looks at you, oh, that person looked at me funny, they must not like me, right? So, or oh, that those people think that particular way, they're not for me. We can, in those interpretations, it begins to create more divisiveness, more dividedness, and we get away from that unification. How are we all one? How can we begin to um, view, vision, begin a belief system of unity? How can we do that? So that's, I think right now, teaching Course in Miracles is important so that we begin to think rightly, so that we can allow our God self to show up, not our fearful little selves that's disconnected and doesn't know how we're going to, feed ourselves or pay our rent or any of that. Um, that's disconnectedness from source. Come back to alignment with source and source energy and source love, and realize we're the evolution of that. We are the unfolding of that. So have you got any questions? I've just kind of been rambling on here.
Now I'm listening and I'm just thinking about, okay, it's nothing. Okay, the screen I'm looking at, it's nothing. But I think I'm not alone when I say that if you're talking about you need pay bills and it has to be paid to survive, yeah, how come you manage to have that as nothing? It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. How can you manage that?
Well, that's very interesting. So let's start with, well, what's your belief? So if you believe you got to pay bills to survive, what do you believe?
In I probably have to say that I believe in what all the time I have been doing to survive without paying those bills, without paying rent, without paying all rest of things. That means I have to go buy tent and live somewhere by the, I don't know, in the woods or whatever. Yeah, so I'm not really ready for that, to be honest.
Well, so you believe, you have a belief system that says, if I don't pay my bills, I will have to live in a box under a bridge, or I
Yeah,
would be
something
right.
like that.
Right. So that's your belief system. So that belief system was created by interpretation. It's not created or founded on truth, right? It is based on interpretation, and even more, it's based in fear. So think about that, Daiga. Are you afraid when you think about that?
Of course I am.
Yeah. So it's
Of course
based
I
on,
am. But it's, this interpretation is actually based in reality and real facts, because if you don't pay, there is thousands of people on the streets, yeah, without
yep.
possibility of living and paying bills and everything. Yeah, there is thousands and thousands of people in food banks. There is thousands and thousands of people. I've actually been going for a ride from one town to another today. Yeah, and I actually find there is quite few tents in the bushes between highway.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
where people putting tense up that I can't say it's my belief. It's just reality what I see around me at this point.
Right. So you're witnessing a lot of belief systems out there, what people believe about. None of those people believe that God is their source. Right? Because if they truly believe that, there would be, that actually for some people, living in a tent might be their greatest experience of life. We don't know. That's a judgment we might have. To believe in, to begin to separate ourselves from faulty belief systems that we are dependent upon man's world in order to survive, that's when we get tricked up, because you've entered into man's world, man's way of having to work hard for a living, having to generate your own energy for fueling yourself. When we begin to live in that consciousness of what I call what's possible, well, what else is possible? Right? So let's go there for a minute, Daiga. So here's this thing for you called I have to pay my bills. Right? I have to do this because if I don't, what's going to happen? Okay.
I know what's going to happen. I
See?
will be out of place where I am.
Right. So that's the belief system. But what if, let's just throw a little what if that wasn't true? What if that wasn't true? Just as an idea, step into another possibility. What if you're being shown something bigger, something more aligned for you? It's like me waking up in the morning and saying, oh, I'm awake. I'm here. I'm still here. Oh. See, I get excited when I start doing that. Most people, when they wake up, they go, oh my God, okay, what are we going to do today? I wake up every morning going, I'm here. Who can I serve today? See, all of a sudden it's like, this one will call this one. I don't advertise my business. I don't do any of that. I have plenty in my world. I have more than enough in my world. I live in a beautiful home. I don't have a job because I truly believe I am supported and I am supplied by my creator. I totally believe it in every cell of my being. So I always enter into the world of, well, what else is possible here? What else is good? What else is? So for me, what's possible right now is I'm going to be teaching Course in Miracles again. So that's not going to just open up possibilities for me, Daiga. That's going to open up possibilities for everyone who is exposed to it and everyone that they're around, because that consciousness will grow.
It sounds great. It really sounds great.
So basically that's what I'm going to be up to, and that's where my energy is going to be going for, because I'm planning on launching this the beginning of the year, starting out 2023 in that consciousness and that awareness.
It's brilliant. I'm absolutely sure you will help many people with this course.
Yep. The goal, what's the goal, right? It's to come back to love. If you're in fear, you're not in love. Remember the map of consciousness? Where is fear?
Yeah.
Way down there, way down there. And when you allow that fear to creep in, it just sucks your energy right down there. But when you say no to fear and you begin to say yes to love, that's when the possibilities start showing up, because inherent in love is all kinds of good stuff. And fear is just ego. That's all that is. So when you find yourself getting afraid of how, I may not have enough, then go, well, then what's possible? What's possible here? And begin to shift that thought system back to love, back to unity. If you're feeling not enoughness, close your eyes and go within and bring your awareness up into love, so that you move more into what's possible, into something new, something more stable, because love is infinitely more stable than fear. Fear weakens not only your mind, but your whole body temple.
Do you plan today do some meditation? We missed
Sure.
out. We missed out for quite few meditations recently.
Well, I think it would probably be a good idea to do meditation today, to help us get back into that flow of God and love and unity. How about we do that? Okay,
That would be brilliant.
great. I'm going to take a drink.
And if somebody has some questions, please put in comments, and I will ask Morganne afterwards.
All right, beloveds. Just find a place where you are sitting comfortably, preferably with your back straight, your feet firmly planted on the ground or the floor or in your shoes. And we're going to take a bit of time just to come into union with our own self, union with our own body, union with being present right where we are. So go right to your feet, feeling the connection between your feet and the floor. Noticing how that feels on your feet. What's the pressure? What part of your feet do you feel the most? Are your feet relaxed or are they tense? Be willing to just be present with your feet. And while you're at it, how about offer some gratitude to those feet? Those beautiful feet that take you on grand adventures. Those feet that can lead you to joy, but they could also lead you to sorrow. Those feet. Just take a moment and get grateful right where you are. Let's take a deep breath into your feet now. Igniting the energy of your feet with the breath. Allowing that energy to just relax your feet. Trusting that those feet will lead you where your consciousness is going. Take a breath into that. And I want you to imagine that all around you, in that air that you breathe in, imagine in that air is the presence of love. Just what would that look like? If love was present in that air, which it is, what would that feel like? What would that look like? And get an image or get a feeling about that. Love in my air. For me, I see it as like this pretty pink lights and like a pink and golden lights everywhere, just sparkling up in the air. And whatever yours looks like is right for you. Take a breath of that love through your nose, all the way in through your nose and all the way down to your feet. Take a breath in. All the way down to the feet. Bring that love. Bring that light. Bring that feeling. And on the out breath, choose to release fear. Go back to the beautiful air around you that you're about to take a beautiful breath in. Imagine again unconditional love. Take that breath in, filling up your entire body temple with that unconditional love. Just allow your body to bask in it. And on the out breath, again, release and let go all fear. So I want you to think about those things that you fear. Not having enough, not being enough. Other fears, fear of losing, fear of winning, fear, whatever the fear is. Take a look at that fear and realize that fear is because you are separated from love. So when you identify a fear, stop for a moment, put your attention on the air around you. Imagine in that air the presence of love, unconditional love, and invite that in to cleanse and clear away the fear. So let's do that. Imagine that love around you. Take a beautiful breath in and let it sweep away all that fear and blow it out. And we begin this way so that we can bring our beingness back to a state of love, not to the state of man's fearful world, but to a state of divine and holy love, because we were created in love, by love, for love. We were created by love, in love, for love. It is why we are here, to awaken the love within us. Take a deep breath in. Let out any residual fear. Move into your heart. Bring your attention to your heart. And we're going to take a beautiful love breath into your heart and expand your heart with greater love. Take a breath in. And release and let go any residual fear, shame, blame, grief, any of that. Let it go. And move back into your heart. And as you just move into your heart and keep placing your attention upon your heart, place your attention upon love, continue to bring your energy back to love, bring your energy back to your heart. If you find yourself wandering off, bring your breath back in, come back to your heart. And as you do this, I'm going to just do a prayer here for Course in Miracles. So as we align with our own hearts, with our divine love, I join in conscious union with the very divine heart of my Creator, the source and the substance of love, the source and the substance of all that is, ever has been, and ever will be. I join my mind, my heart, my soul, my beingness with the truth, with the knowledge, with the power and the presence of God, my Creator, my source, my substance of all that is. And as I join my mind, I now know and accept my mind is clarified, clear, and clean, because my mind is in alignment with God's mind. I allow my mind to be one with God's mind, God's knowledge, God's knowing, God's awareness. Creator is alive in my mind, giving birth to new ideas, giving birth to a clear and clean and strong mind that seeks knowledge and awareness and love. I join my heart with the living heart of Source Creator that loves itself and all its creation unconditionally, where it just looks upon its creation with, wow, look what I did, look what I created. And so I move into that consciousness, I move into that awareness. I am one with that creative excitement of, look what I created. Awesome. And so as I join my mind and my heart and my beingness and my world, I totally allow Source, God, to hold my life, my beingness in its own heart, in its own mind, and allow me to just evolve as one gorgeous, magnificent miracle of being. For that is what I am. For I am the life of God, and each one of us here are that same life. And as we dedicate our awareness and our time and our energy and place our attention upon what is true and right and good, and turn our eyes away from the world and all of its fear and all of its propaganda and all of its misery and all of that, we turn our vision away from that. Our vision is renewed as we create the new world where we are supplied and supported always. and in all ways. God supplies, supports, and cares for each of its creations, and we are its creation. And so I speak my word that each person listening to my voice has the capacity now to release and let go of the fear, has the capacity to release and let go of the victimhood, has the capacity to release and let go that which they are not. Let it go and come back into alignment with who you are as the living presence of God's love made flesh and in this form in order to unify, in order to bring together, in order to teach, in order to help others remember that we are one. We are one life, one power, one presence. And as we join our minds and our hearts in that unity and in that conviction, I claim and know miracles. I claim and know all that we need is provided. And for all of that, I am so grateful. And I'm so grateful for being led here this day and led to teach this course. And I know that I'm being shown how every step of the way. And so, in God's love, Creator's love, I say thank you for expanding my heart, my mind, and the hearts and the minds of all of those that hear my voice. For now they are in resonance with God's love, God's unconditional love. And I speak my word, they allow it and accept it as who they are. And so it is. Amen. Take a deep breath in. Bring your awareness back to your feet. Allowing that consciousness to move in your feet. Let that consciousness come up your legs, consume up your whole body. Bring your awareness and your light and your love and awake and open your eyes and come and be present with me right now. It is so good.
Yay! Yay! It was brilliant. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Morgan. It was something
You are so
very, very beautiful. I had
Thank you
golden,
so much.
I felt like golden fountain with huge red heart on the middle. Like golden sparkly fountain and huge red heart on the middle. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It was brilliant, and I do hope the many people who
That's what
watching.
Source gave you for you to focus on. That's yours.
Thank you. That was really, really great, and thank you, Morgan. Is there anything else you want to tell our viewers before we go?
Just keep connecting. Just keep connecting. Spend twice the amount of time connecting to Source as you do to the world.
Thank you very much. And Alish, Ann, do you have something what you want to ask, what you want to tell us? I don't think. By the look of it, Alishan is not. Okay, on that note.
It's all right.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody who joined us. Thank you who will be watching later on. Please remember that we both taking in private clients, and the contact details is below the video. Also, you can, using those contact details, sign up for Morganne's new course. So contact Morganne and maybe we will end up in same course. at the same time.
Yeah.
Another thing what I want to remind all our viewers, if you like our videos, please don't forget like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel because many more videos like this is here to come. And I will be meeting more and more people who will give you their input and guidance to move through all these confusing times. Thank you very much for watching.